Last night, before you fell asleep, what did you eat? A handful of chips? A piece of chocolate? Maybe nothing at all? Now, let me ask you something even more important. When was the last time you woke up with dry, tired, or burning eyes? When was the last time you squinted at your phone screen in the morning and thought, something just doesn't feel right? Millions of people are silently damaging their eyesight every single night, not because of screen time, not because of poor lighting, but because of what they are putting and not putting into their bodies before bed. I have spent over 15 years working with patients whose vision problems were not caused by genetics or aging, but by nutritional neglect. Today, I am going to tell you about one specific fruit, one that most people eat for taste, not knowing that eating it before bed could be one of the most powerful things you ever do for your eye health. Stay with me, because what I am about to share could literally change the way you see the world. Now, before I reveal the fruit, I need you to understand something that most people, even many doctors, overlook in their everyday conversations with patients. Your eyes are not resting when you sleep. Your brain is resting, your muscles are resting, but your eyes are actually doing some of their most critical repair work while you are lying in the dark. The retina, that thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye responsible for capturing light and sending signals to your brain, undergoes cellular repair and regeneration during the nighttime hours. The tiny blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your eyes are most active during rest. The antioxidant systems in your eye tissue work to neutralize the damage caused by blue light, UV exposure, and oxidative stress that you accumulated throughout the day. This is why what you eat in the evening matters so profoundly. Whatever nutrients are circulating in your bloodstream at night become the raw materials your eyes use to rebuild, protect, and maintain themselves. Think of it this way. Imagine you own a construction company. Your workers are scheduled to fix a building overnight while the tenants are asleep. Now imagine those workers show up and find no bricks, no cement, no tools. They cannot build anything. They sit there idle and the building deteriorates a little more. This is exactly what happens to your eyes when you go to bed with a nutritional deficit. The repair crew shows up, but there is nothing to work with. So what is the fruit I am talking about? Blueberries. Yes, these small, humble, deep blue-colored berries that you might walk past in the grocery store without a second thought are, in my clinical and scientific opinion, the single best fruit you can eat before bed for your eye health. And I want to explain exactly why, because this is not just folklore or trend-based nutrition advice. This is backed by decades of peer-reviewed research, and I have seen the results firsthand in my own patients. Blueberries are extraordinarily rich in a class of antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their distinctive deep blue and purple color, and they are among the most powerful protective compounds found in any food on Earth. Anthocyanins have a remarkable and very specific affinity for the tissues of the eye. When you consume blueberries, these compounds are absorbed into your bloodstream and travel directly to the retina, where they bind to proteins in your photoreceptor cells, the rods and cones that allow you to see detail, color, and light. During the night, while you sleep, these anthocyanins work like specialized maintenance technicians, repairing oxidative damage, reducing inflammation in the tiny capillaries of the eye, and supporting the regeneration of rhodopsin, the pigment in your rod cells that is essential for low light and night vision. Let me give you a real-world example of why this matters. I had a patient, let me call her Sarah, a 42-year-old school teacher who came to me complaining of progressively worsening night vision. She had difficulty driving after dark, struggled to read menus in dim restaurants, and was waking up every morning with eyes that felt gritty and exhausted. Her prescription had not changed significantly. Her intraocular pressure was normal. There was no structural pathology. But her diet was almost completely devoid of colorful fruits and vegetables. I made one simple recommendation. Every evening before bed, eat a small bowl of blueberries. Within 6 weeks, Sarah came back to my office and told me she had driven to her daughter's school play at night without any difficulty for the first time in 2 years. That is not magic. That is biochemistry. The second reason blueberries are exceptional for nighttime eye health is their high concentration of vitamin C and vitamin E. These two vitamins work together as a powerful antioxidant team. Vitamin C, found in generous amounts in blueberries, protects the lens of your eye from oxidative damage, the same kind of damage that, over time, contributes to cataracts. Vitamin E protects the fatty membranes of your retinal cells from being broken down by free radicals. Your eyes have among the highest metabolic rates of any tissue in your body, which means they produce enormous amounts of free radicals as a byproduct of normal function. Eating blueberries before bed ensures that your eyes go into their nightly repair cycle fully stocked with these antioxidant soldiers. Third, and this is something I want every person watching this to pay close attention to, blueberries have been shown in multiple clinical studies to reduce the permeability of the tiny blood vessels in the eye. When those vessels become too permeable, too leaky, fluid and debris can accumulate around the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. Over time, this contributes to macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of irreversible vision loss in adults over 50. I want you to picture a garden hose. If that hose has tiny cracks and holes in it, the water pressure drops and the delivery becomes inconsistent. Your retinal blood vessels work the same way. Blueberries help seal those cracks. They strengthen the vessel walls and ensure that your retina receives a consistent, clean supply of blood and oxygen while you sleep. Now you might be asking, why before bed specifically? Why not eat blueberries in the morning or at lunch? The answer lies in timing and bioavailability. The anthocyanins in blueberries are water-soluble, which means they are absorbed and circulate through your system relatively quickly, typically reaching peak concentration in your bloodstream within 1 to 2 hours after consumption, and clearing within about 12 hours. If you eat blueberries in the morning, by the time you reach your deepest sleep cycle when cellular repair is most active, those compounds have largely been processed and excreted. Eating blueberries in the evening, roughly 1 to 2 hours before you sleep, means their peak concentration aligns almost perfectly with your body's most intensive repair window. It is like scheduling the delivery of construction materials to arrive exactly when the workers are on site and ready to use them. Here's another example I want you to think about. You know how professional athletes ice their muscles right after training? Not the next morning, not the day before, but immediately after the stress so that recovery happens in real time? Eating blueberries before bed works on the same principle. You have been stressing your eyes all day with screens, sunlight, artificial lighting, and concentration. Eating blueberries at night delivers recovery nutrients precisely when your eye tissue needs them most. I also want to address something important for my patients who have diabetes or who are concerned about blood sugar. Blueberries, despite their natural sweetness, have a relatively low glycemic index compared to most fruits. A standard serving of about half a cup contains roughly 9 grams of sugar, but the fiber content and the specific sugar composition of blueberries result in a much gentler rise in blood glucose compared to something like a banana or mango. This makes them an excellent nighttime snack even for people who need to be mindful of their blood sugar, because a spike in blood sugar right before bed increases inflammation throughout the body, including in the microvasculature of the eyes. Blueberries give you the antioxidant benefits without triggering that inflammatory cascade. I also want you to know that you do not need to eat pounds of blueberries to see results. Research consistently shows that a serving of about half a cup to 1 full cup of fresh or frozen blueberries per day is sufficient to produce measurable benefits in eye health markers. Frozen blueberries are just as effective as fresh. In fact, the freezing process actually ruptures some of the cell walls and makes the anthocyanins more bioavailable. So if fresh blueberries are out of season or out of budget, a bag of frozen blueberries from your local store works perfectly well. You can eat them thawed in a small bowl, blended into a light evening smoothie with water or low-fat milk, stirred into a small serving of plain yogurt, or even eaten straight from the freezer as a cool, satisfying snack. Now, I want to be transparent with you because I believe in giving my patients complete information. Blueberries are extraordinarily beneficial, but they are most powerful when they are part of a broader commitment to eye protective nutrition. Other foods that complement the work of blueberries include leafy greens like spinach and kale, which are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 carotenoids that function as the eye's natural internal sunglasses, filtering out damaging blue light. Eggs are also excellent because their lutein is in a form that is highly absorbable. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines provide omega-3 fatty acids that reduce dry eye inflammation. Carrots, yes, your grandmother was right, contain beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A, the precursor to rhodopsin. But among all the foods you can eat in the evening with minimal effort and maximum impact, blueberries stand in a category of their own for the density and specificity of their eye protective compounds. I want to close by returning to something I said at the very beginning. Your eyes are working while you sleep. They are rebuilding, regenerating, and restoring themselves right now as you lie in the dark, but only if you give them the materials they need. The decision you make tonight, what you reach for as that last small snack before you turn off the light, is not trivial. It is a vote for your future vision. It is a small but powerful act of care for two organs that do more for your experience of life than almost any others. I have patients who have reversed early-stage macular degeneration markers simply by changing their diet. I have patients who no longer need lubricating eye drops every morning because they address the root nutritional causes of their dry eyes. I have patients who tell me their world looks sharper, more vivid, more colorful, and the only thing they changed was adding a bowl of blueberries to their evening routine. These are not miracle stories. These are the predictable outcomes of giving your body what it needs when it needs it. So tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to make a choice. Skip the chips, skip the late night cookies. Instead, reach for a small bowl of blueberries. Your eyes have been working hard for you all day long. It is time you worked a little harder for them. And my mission is to give you the truth about health that you can actually use. No fluff, no fear, just science and results. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who complains about tired eyes, blurry mornings, or poor night vision. And if you want to learn more about protecting your vision through nutrition, follow this channel, because the best investment you will ever make is in your own ability to see the world clearly. Take care of your eyes tonight. They are counting on you.